Have you ever woken up and immediately felt heavy? Like before your feet even touched the floor, your mind is already racing. Racing with worries, problems, and everything that could go wrong today. Maybe you wake up thinking about bills, or maybe about deadlines. Maybe about arguments from yesterday that still sting. Before you even start your day, you already feel defeated. If that sounds familiar, this story is for you. Because once there was a man who woke up angry at the world every single day. Until one simple practice, just 5 minutes every morning, changed everything. Stay with me until the end to find out how. In a bustling city where buildings reached toward the sky, lived a man named Daniel. Daniel had what most people would call a good life, a stable job, and a decent apartment. On paper, he had no reason to complain. But every single morning, Daniel woke up miserable. The moment his alarm rang, his first thought wasn't gratitude, it was dread. Another Monday, more work I don't want to do. He would lie in bed for 10 minutes scrolling through his phone, looking at news that made him angry and social media that made him feel inadequate. Other people's vacations, success, and happiness. By the time he dragged himself out of bed, his mood was already dark. At breakfast, he wouldn't even taste his food. His mind was already at the office, anticipating problems. His girlfriend, Sarah, noticed his struggle over coffee one morning. She asked gently, "Daniel, when was the last time you enjoyed waking up?" He stared at his coffee cup, unable to remember. "I don't know," he finally said. "Maybe when I was a kid." Sarah reached across the table and said, "You act like life is a punishment." Her words stung because they were true. But Daniel didn't know how to change. Negativity felt as automatic as breathing. He would tell himself, "I'll be happy when I get promoted or have more money." But that "when" never seemed to come. The heaviness grew, his sleep got worse, and his relationships suffered. Even good news couldn't break through the fog of his negative mind. One evening, Sarah said something that shook him to his core. "Daniel, I love you, but I can't keep waking up next to someone who hates waking up." That night, Daniel couldn't sleep, staring at the ceiling in silence. He asked himself, "When did I become this person? How do I find my way back?" The next morning, Daniel woke up at 5:30 a.m., unable to rest. Instead of lying in bed with his thoughts, he did something unusual. He went for a walk in the quiet early morning city. Part 3. The Encounter in the Park. The sun hadn't fully risen, and the air was cool and clean. In a small park, he saw an elderly man sitting on a bench. The man was feeding birds and had a peaceful expression on his face. What struck Daniel was this: the old man was smiling for no particular reason. Daniel found himself drawn to the bench and asked to sit down. They sat in silence for a moment, watching the birds flutter. Finally, Daniel spoke. "You look genuinely happy. How?" The old man chuckled softly and said, "You think happiness is something you find." "Isn't it?" Daniel asked, feeling confused. "No," the old man replied. "Happiness is something you practice every single day." Daniel frowned. "Practice? How do you practice happiness?" The old man asked, "What was your first thought when you woke up this morning?" Daniel admitted he thought about just getting through another day. The old man said, "My friend, you've been training your mind to see problems. Every morning you practice negativity, and now you're very good at it." Those words hit Daniel like cold water, training his mind. "Is there a way to untrain it?" Daniel asked quietly. The old man smiled. "There is, and it starts with just 5 minutes." He pulled out a small, worn notebook filled with handwriting. For 20 years, I've done the same thing before I even check my phone. Part 4. The 5-minute practice. I write 3 things I'm grateful for, the old man explained. Daniel looked skeptical. That's it? Just writing things down? The old man picked up 2 stones from the ground, one dark and one light. Imagine your mind is like a garden. Every morning you plant seeds. If you plant worry and complaint, that's what grows all day. He held up the dark stone to represent those negative thoughts. But if you plant gratitude, appreciation grows instead. He placed both stones in Daniel's hands as a symbol. Right now, your garden is full of dark stones, but you can change that. He told Daniel to write 3 specific things every morning before getting up. Not vague things, but real, specific moments, the old man emphasized. He showed Daniel his entry, the way sunlight warmed my face. Small things? Daniel asked. Yes, the old man confirmed. Because the small things are the life you're actually living right now. The big achievements are just ideas, but the small things are real. He warned Daniel that the first few days would feel awkward. Your mind will resist and say this is stupid. Keep going anyway. After a month, your baseline mood will shift because your attention changed. The old man handed Daniel a blank notebook from his bag. 30 days, 3 things, specific and real. Can you do that? Part 5. The transformation. Daniel held the notebook and felt a spark of curiosity instead of dread. I'll try, he said. The old man smiled and told him to go home. Day 1, Daniel woke up and reached for the notebook instead of his phone. He wrote, I woke up, the bed was comfy, and Sarah is still here. It felt forced, but he did it anyway. Day 5, his entries became more specific, like the taste of his coffee. Day 12, something shifted during a frustrating meeting at work. He noticed the beautiful sunlight on the wall and felt a flicker of joy. He realized he was actively looking for beauty instead of problems. Day 17, he wrote about the sound of rain washing the world clean. Sarah noticed the change and told him, "You're coming back, Daniel." Day 25, Daniel woke up before his alarm, excited for the day. Day 30, Daniel returned to the park to see the old man again. "I did it," he said, "and you were right. Everything changed. My circumstances are the same, but I see and feel differently now." The old man said, "Joy was never gone. It was just buried under negativity." "This isn't a 30-day challenge. This is a way of life," the old man concluded. 6 months later, Daniel still writes his 3 gratitudes every single morning. He learned that you cannot control what happens, but you can control your attention. So tonight, put a notebook by your bed and choose to wake up grateful tomorrow. If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Your one comment inspires me to create better stories. Thank you everyone for giving so much love. We'll meet again with a new story.